welcome back. This is News Talk. Our guests this morning are Rick Falcone and Mark Jennings with the Rome Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you for
having us. Thank you both for your service. That's for
You're
sure.
welcome. Thank you.
You were in the Army?
Navy.
Navy, and you served in Vietnam.
Yes.
And Mark was in the Air Force.
Air Force, yes.
Still working over at Rome Labs.
Yeah, retired from Eastern Air Defense Sector and took a job at Rome Labs.
And we're here to talk about the long-awaited memorial, 21 years in the making.
Long awaited. Yep, 21 years. We started raising money in 1997. We were part of the people who brought in the moving wall. I don't know if you remember that back in Rome. And there was such a turnout for that moving wall that inspired us to do something permanently.
Beautiful. And I know the dedication ceremony is set for Memorial Day.
Yes, Monday, May 27th at 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
And I know we have a couple of pictures of what's up right now, if we can show those. But I know you were mentioning the two big stones will be coming in the next couple of months.
They'll be in the spring, yes. Yes.
And I guess, why the need?
I think it was long overdue. Most of the vets, we have a lot of Vietnam vets in Rome and the Utica area and Oneida. Our memorial wasn't specifically, a lot of people think it was specifically for our 12 Romans that were killed in Vietnam. It isn't. We wanted to do something to honor all the Vietnam veterans, living or deceased, because there's been hundreds of them that have passed away from Agent Orange and all kinds of things since the war. You know, so it's not just who was killed in Vietnam. You know, it's for all the Vietnam veterans. And
I knew we do have some video of some of the Vietnam veterans from Rome being honored a couple of years ago by I think it might have been the VFW, if we can put that up. But why do you think things happened the way they did back in the the late '60s, early '70s, when the men came back from war and weren't underappreciated?
Well, I can't speak for those brave men and women that came home. But I think it's just something that was an unpopular war, and a lot of people believe we should never have been there. And but unfortunately, these men and women, Rick and many other Vietnam veterans, went off, did a job that they were ordered to do, and this is something a big thank you to all the Vietnam veterans, like Rick mentioned, both living and deceased. And a welcome home, maybe a long overdue welcome home for many.
That's for sure.
I ran into a Vietnam veteran many years ago, and I said thank you to him, and he said, "You have no idea how many years I've been waiting to hear that."
Wow.
So it was
it's amazing.
So
yeah. And can you explain what it was like when you came back?
We didn't know what was going on.
As far
as when you were in country, you didn't really know what all this stuff was going on back. I went to Hawaii. Got off the plane in Hawaii for my R&R from Vietnam to visit my wife, and they were having protesters at the airport, you know, and we tried walking through, and they were throwing stuff at us, and it was just insane, and you're looking at them like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, we just went over to
and you just really didn't understand it until after you came back, and then you found out the whole story, and it was, they just didn't want us over there. You know, today they back the wars fabulously. They support our troops fabulously.
And they should.
And I don't know if they didn't understand it. It's all the same thing. Freedom isn't free. It's earned by all the veterans in all the wars. You know, it's got a high price tag.
And you were in Vietnam for?
Almost 13 months.
Can you put into words what it was like over there?
Hot.
Besides
hot, sticky, muggy, just not a lot of sleep, you know, because we were on riverboats, and we were mostly patrolling in night patrols, so we wouldn't leave the base until 3 in the afternoon and come back 5, 6 o'clock the next morning. Once in a while you'll pull a day patrol, but you really didn't get the proper sleep that you had, because you know, you're always on the alert. You never know what's going to happen when. So it was a tough duty. There was no doubt about it.
Well, thankfully you made it back like so many didn't. And quickly, what's it like to see a fellow military person with a Vietnam hat on when you see them? I mean, that's got to be pretty powerful.
You can walk right up. I can walk right up. A Vietnam vet to another Vietnam vet can walk right up to him, and it's like you've known him for 50 years. You know, they always say we're brothers forever, and we are. And it doesn't matter if you've ever met. You can instantly talk to that person because you all share the same thing, and it's so much easier to talk to than trying to introduce yourself into a stranger. So it's powerful. There's no doubt about it.
And so is that memorial. It's going to be a great thing.
Yes, it's going to be fabulous.
Yes.
Absolutely fabulous, and we'd like to invite everybody to it.
And
on
there
the
it is
dedication.
once again. Mark, quickly, can you explain where it is physically on the base there?
It's actually up, if you're coming from the RFA on I think it's 825 is the road, go past the RFA just before you, at the first traffic circle that has, I believe it's called the Pegasus horse. Off to the right-hand side of that circle is where the memorial is. There's a military alley-oop statue, they call it, that was restored several years ago. The memorial is just to the left of that statue. So,
Beautiful. Well, thank you guys for all you're doing. And I know it's been a long time coming, but we'll be there on Memorial Day.
Thank you for helping us get the word out.
Be a powerful day. And you're still looking for
Still
donations?
looking for around $2,500. We'll clean it right up. We'll hit our goals.
And where should they direct that?
They can be sent to me, Rick Falcone at 210 Elm Street, Rome, New York. And if anybody has any questions, they can contact me at 315-225-4438.
225?
4438. I'll answer any questions you got.
Gary, one more thing too. Of the 12 Romans that had lost their lives in Vietnam, we've located family members for 11. We're still looking for the family members of Corporal Robert Nielsen. He was killed in action in January 7th, 1968. So if anyone that out there knows of any family members for Corporal Nielsen, contact Rick, and because we want to make sure we don't miss a family member, or we invite as many of the family as we can.
Maybe we'll do a story on that this week.
Absolutely.
Try to find out. Thank you guys so
Thank
much
you
for
very
coming
much.
in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And stay with us. We're back to wrap things up right